block damage and burn through his mana that way. As we go later on to the game, especially once he builds some ability power, he'll pretty much be able to just alpha those waves down and then back out and not really get harassed out. However, AlthOr has the ability to regain a lot of mana to keep poking with auto attacks, put that laser bird and that never move, even ignite in there, and I think he can press down this Sion. I'm expecting Sion to miss some last hits early on, but as the game goes on, I think he'll be able to just get that shield beefy enough, and it will depend how good do those first 6 minutes go. Will you be able to survive that initial, burst and get that ability power? Because if you can't get any minion kills, then you're of course not going to get where you want to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's see what they're going to want to do in level 1. Just wanted to point out we have the northern front Swain. That's very, very appropriate here in the Ukraine. I like it. He's dressed for the weather, even though it is the summer map, of course.
Yeah, that's fine though.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And Sypher's Shlia is already boxing the golem. And in this patch level 3, correct me if I'm wrong, you can still get to level 3 on Shaco by the 2-minute 5-second mark, right?
Yeah, it should be available. So if he does just... you. On the other side, of course, you can see Against All Authority are invading to try to steal this buff away. That is what they're trying to do here, and they're camping right by it. Meanwhile, the other side is the blue buff, the Golem buff, which gives you significant mana regeneration and cooldown reduction to spam abilities. So if you look at Shaco over here, he's got this ability down here, Jack in the Box. You can see 15.5-second cooldown, 50 mana. You can see his mana bar right above that, 148 of 270. He will run out of mana spamming forever, so that's a really good buff to allow him to use these spells more often. And actually, interestingly, Against All Authority backed out. They said, well, we wanted to invade on you, but actually, you weren't putting boxes on red, so never mind, let's go back to our lanes. So,
and correct me if I'm wrong, but the normal jungle route for Shaco is to start with boxes as at red and then to pull blue and do it blue in the normal way. I think that's how you normally start with Shaco.
That's pretty common, yes, to sort of go for the early red and the early gank, but he's going to go up for some early farming instead. Interesting, they actually left one of those wolves down there. I feel like that's a bit of a mistake, but I trust him. I think he'll do a good job here. The lanes are starting to pace out. You see the jungler down here. This Rammus will have that golem buff for himself as well. Going to bring that one down with Smite. And, of course, he's got Powerball and Defensive Ball Curl. Going to use that. Actually, no, he got Powerball and Taunt. He actually didn't learn Defensive Ball Curl yet. He learned it to try to go for early aggression. And, of course, nothing got hit.
Oh, he may still want to go for a level 2 gank. And
oh, he is?
Yeah, he is actually doing
clever.
It. That is not something you normally see Rammus do. That's more of a Lee Sin kind of jungle route. But he is actually doing it. And he is now in place in the brushes. He has his Powerball up, and he's gonna go in there. There's the ward, but the ward's just a little bit too late. He's on Pyri right now. The taunt is good. The boomerang blade goes all across all of them, but it may still be first blood here. And there's the flash from yellowstar.
Wow,
yellowstar does pick up first blood there.
That's such a good move with AAA. And I was like, why did he not learn defensive bulk? And you're like, oh, he's level 2 gank again. I was like, oh my gosh, he destroyed that guy. And that was just phenomenal play by Against All Authority. That's going to start them off great.
At the same time, though, top lane, Skyyart going very low with Irelia. soAz just being a bully, running into him with Tiger Stance. He was down to below 200 health already. That is a good start. And what I wanted to say in bot lane, if the yellowstar wants to be a bully, it couldn't have started better for him. Yep,
absolutely the case. And, he's already up to the turret almost. Sivir, of course, has no one to heal her, and, no mana or anything to be given for free. So, going to see what she can do with this. Of course, does have spell shield, so if Taric goes for a stun, she can block that, get some mana back, and prevent that stun from happening.
Shaco was thinking about ganking bot lane, but he seems to know that Tribush is warded because he stayed just outside of ward range there. And now Rammus gang actually coming in mid lane once again, and the taunt is good after the flash on Moops. Moops gets his shield off. It will have to recall though. Great work here from Linak, really, really ganking actively. Shaco has not been able to gank anywhere yet, and it looks like he's now going to have to go and hold mid lane. Unless is that going to be a gank? Don't think they can burn through all the health on AlthOr there, but they may want to go and try that. Yeah. Yeah, that's not... Yeah, I'm not sure about what Slayer is doing. He's warding the brush right now.
Oh, no, he's going to go in, and if he can land the stun with Flash, he actually gets a nice crit there. The stun goes off. He's on the turret. Can he get the... yes, he does get the explosion of that shield. Nice job there by Moops. Landed that stun before he flashed away. So basically, AlthOr made a mistake in flashing too late. He would have been fine if he had just... run away in time, but an excellent job there. Shaco did deceive over the wall, land that crit in the face, and just throw spells out there that did just enough damage. And now you can see that nice move. Deceives behind the Lizard, getting that backstab bonus damage. That thing will fall soon, and there's that smite as well. Level 4 on Shaco, and he's gotten an assist for himself, so he's actually ahead of Linak.
Nice. What I wanted to say is that something that the pros do, it may look bad sometimes when they don't flash, and they could have been safe with the flash, but something that differentiates the good from the great players is knowing when to be able to hold your flash, when you can just run out of a situation without having to burn flash, because just burning flash is already a successful gank. So if you can hold on to your flash, the gank didn't really do any damage. But in that case, AlthOr made a bad judgment call, should have probably flashed a little bit earlier. Still, very, very good gank there from both junglers so far. And Linak, did he not get an assist for himself? He must have got. Yeah, he has an assist for himself as well. So the junglers are actually equal footing right now. And basically, Linak is probably going to wait for... sorry, Schleier is going to wait for the ward and Tribush to expire, but that's not going to happen because Osaft just rewarded that. And yes, Osaft, the only non-French player on Team AAA, he is actually from Switzerland. I asked him this time. So I'm not going to get it wrong this time.
All right, nice job.
Yep.
And let's look, actually, both the junglers actually running up towards mid. You might see a gank come out of these guys. Shaco's nearby. He actually deceives in. Nope, no one actually ran forward, but they're going for possibly an invade. No, they just went to put the ward down. Yeah. Rammus went to defend him as he did that. That'll give him some nice vision of Shaco. And actually, Rammus is going in. I don't think he quite saw Shaco or vice versa. Oh, just smites the big red.
Yeah, that's good enough. You know, that's good enough of or just economical damage to the enemy jungler. That's just a basic idea of counter jungling. You want to get your enemy jungler behind.
Yep, just denies him those resources. Great choice there. Only 4 gold left for any of those small raids. Shaco kind of waiting to see if he can deceive over the wall. He's going for some damage. And AlthOr just backing off, knows that, you know, the minion wave's far back. And actually, oh, Sion actually broke his shield on the minions and didn't actually deal any damage with it.
Oh,
actually got broken
out. That's fine. He's still doing a better job at no, he's actually not doing a better job at last lane. He's just 3 creeps behind. So you could probably say that lane is on equal footing. Top lane, there's a lot of exchanges, but both of these champions have so much sustain. Irelia from her W, and the same for Udyr, also his W. So much lifesteal that they can just get all that health back in. So forgive us if we miss a kill there, but these two are just constantly going to be attacking each other and not necessarily following up with a kill.
Yeah, well, Skyyart's up 12 minions, hasn't gone back to buy yet. Could certainly afford a Philosopher's Stone if he wanted one. Went for that early regrowth pendant. He's level 6, so he's got the experience advantage, the minion advantage. He's doing a great job top lane. You can see that even though that first blood was worth about 100 gold, ooh, Rammus almost went for a gank down there. He is maxing Taunt, by the way, for those of you trying to learn professional Rammus play.
Yes.
Fast Philo Stone, boots of speed, and the invade onto that blue buff, and Swain coming over as well. You can see Udyr actually staying towards the river, actually has that lane pushed, so if he needs to come and help, he has basically the foot race advantage over Irelia, also has boots of speed, and you can see just the great steal on that blue. Swain having it, and he's just fine. Wow, the push, very aggressive though at bot lane, and yeah, Shaco just pushed that turret down almost all the way. The Graves and Taric had to be.
Blood Boil on Sivir just does so much damage to that turret, and they got it down almost completely after pushing yellowstar and Osaft down to almost no health. They had to go home and, well, obviously heal and shop. And in that time, Team Sypher almost got the first turret of the game. I feel like if they just get one more advantage here, they can push the lane down. And that seems to be exactly what they want to do. Sometimes you don't want to push the enemy turret down, because that means they can freeze the lane on their side, and it's going to be hard for you to farm. But it looks like these two feel safe enough just doing that and going to be okay with the turret being pushed.
Absolutely, and we just see, you know, farming in mid and Sion, though, without extra free mana, still doing okay, actually. 2 Doran's Ring is going to give him some nice mana regen. He's got 70 ability power all said and done, and that's not too bad. And you can see he just keeps pushing back to his turret over and over, and he's going to try to just last hit there as best he can. And looks like he's going to be able to one-shot all these caster minions.
That feels good. All that gold popping up on your screen, that's just a good feeling.
More wards coming down from AlthOr, really just watching for that Shaco. It invested a lot in that ward. You can see with one about timeout, he puts a new one down just in time. Really does not want to miss out on seeing Shaco do anything.
Osaft now going back to ward the Tribush again. I don't think it's ever been not warded for longer than 10 seconds. They're really scared of those Shaco ganks, and you know what, for good reason. They may actually be setting up for Dragon right now, because Udyr is coming down. And let's see, Irelia does not have teleport. So it's a 5 versus 4 advantage here if Sypher even want to contest this dragon. And I don't think that they should. They see it, and they're kind of going in, doing a little bit of damage. Oh,
it resets. Oh, that is unfortunate. So it's taking some damage there. Doesn't have great sustain. Has that phage though, which nothing's. Oh, and looks like Sion's gotten jumped on. And there's a taunt as well. Sion not in good shape. Irelia has jumped up. He flashes away, still taking some damage. Graves will flash. That's the first kill of that battle right there. soAz getting away just barely in Udyr, but no, Sivir trying to chase him, but Turtle Stance keeping him alive. Finally gets that kill there. Now Linak coming in. That's a taunt right on Sivir's face. Sivir not in good shape here. Will go down, but the rest of Sypher are right here. And Nunu, not level 6, can't do much to help his team. Looks like yellowstar now taking quite a lot of damage. Skyyart just doing so much damage with Irelia. And Sly there around his web of Skyyart now getting forced out. He will drop down. Looks like 3 to 1 in this fight so far. Going phenomenally for them. Only one have fallen, and
Schleier, you're in trouble.
Deceive is up. Will it cost too much mana? It looks like he's not in great shape here. More damage at the time, and the taunt does come off just in time. Will fall down. Linak gets the credit for that one. 4 to 1 in that battle. Excellent job by Against All Authority.
I feel that Trollnet was a little bit too greedy chasing after the kill here as Sivir going after the Udyr who almost got away, and that just got him killed and got his team to fight in an awkward position, and Moops is actually going back in to stop him from doing Dragon again. Takes a little bit of free damage, but actually it's okay because he shielded it.
He did interrupt the Dragon though, it worked out.
He did, yeah, he did. Wow, that was a very, very ballsy move by him, but it did pay off, and it looks like rest of Sypher is coming back while soAz went back top lane with his Udyr to farm some more. So the Dragon could still go to Sypher.
And they are actually positioned pretty well. Taric is down there. Shaco's coming over. Irelia's coming over. And actually, yeah, this Sion is pushing AlthOr back to his turret. He no longer has blue on Swain, and Swain without mana is not very useful. So, you know, despite going down 3 kills in the last fight, it's going to go plus a Dragon, which basically regains most of that loss. They're still a little bit behind, sure, but they're going to get this one pretty much for free. They're going to, in fact, and that's honestly great team play. It worked out quite well.
Absolutely, well done there from Sypher. They just regrouped immediately. They realized that Dragon had not fallen in amidst all of that fighting, and when they saw Udyr going top lane, they were like, okay, cool, you're gonna let us have Dragon, that's fine. Actually, just an observation, not a single one of the top laners here running teleport. That's interesting as well, because if you have these early objectives like Dragon, teleport is so strong. But it looks like both of them just want to be safe. Exhaust flash on the Udyr. Oh, and there's the top bot turret falling. And Ghost heal actually on Irelia. That's an interesting combination.
Full bait Irelia, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, that makes sense, though. Yeah. And she's got 2 gold per 10s as well, so the longer this game goes on, Sypher's going to be happy with this. She's got Philosopher's Stone and that Heart of Gold. Now, of course, Rammus, the same kind of build as well, does have quite a bit going on for himself. You can see, actually, Fast Skindle Gem going for a rush Irelia's, so he will be a very big threat as this game goes on farther. He'll initiate from just 7 screens away at that point. And, you know, with a team like this, I mean, anyone from Sypher can be jumped on, and without, you know, exception of maybe Irelia, they're all pretty much killable if they get jumped. This Sion is not very much a Reginald Sion. There's no 300 minion series actually getting. No, he's actually out minioning AlthOr, that Swain in mid, but still he's not at 300 yet. So
yes,
that is him not being super rich just yet.
He's doing a good job though, and they're going in for another invade on the enemy blue. There are 3 members of Team AAA are here right now, and they are
so much ward control too.
Yeah, they triggered the box there, but it's gonna be all right. Shaco is not near enough yet. 4 members of team, actually the whole team AAA and Sypher would do well to just stay away there right now. Yeah, Schleier, that was not a good move. You're a little bit too late, but beautiful deceive over the wall. He's gonna be safe right now. Udyr is chasing.
soAz can catch him. He's gotten exhausted too. This actually might be not enough for Schleier. He's gonna ult. Not enough time. Does get taunted out by Rammus. He does go down. Yeah,
the ult was probably a little bit silly. He's never gonna get away from that, and he's not gonna have ult coming back right now. But still, the gold very, very close. 300 gold difference only, even though AAA are 4 kills ahead right now. That's, of course, the Dragon that Sypher picked up and the turret.
Yep, and it's getting them, although surprisingly, yeah, the gold is almost the same. You can see this might not be good for Mr. Nunu. He's been... No, they're not going to go in. Okay.
Nunu too scary.
A little bit.
And they're pinging the river quite wildly.
Oh, they're trying to like spot wards because Linak has an oracle, so they're pinging like, I think a ward's here, I think a ward's here. No,
yes.
There's actually none. There's nothing for them to spot right here. So ward control pretty good. Actually, these wards are so far up from Sypher that they're not getting spotted by that ward sweeping from Rammus. So that's actually pretty good for Sypher. Yeah,
Linak already stealing a big wraith again. That's just, you know, gonna get a Shaco a little bit further behind. And I feel Schleier's Shaco does not have had as much of an impact on this game as Linak's Rammus had. 204 on Rammus, 022 on Shaco. And it looks like Skyyart maybe... No, he's just warding the mid-brush just to know exactly what's going on here. And AlthOr's coming back into the lane. Let's have a quick look at items as it slows down a little bit. AlthOr building for the early Rod of Ages here. Makes perfect sense. You want to have that sustain on Swain, who needs to go in and be close to the enemy. while it looks like Sion is just going to go for 2 Dawn's Rings and then probably just rush the Death Cap, which also makes sense because you just have that burst, you have nothing else. Nunu building a Filler Stone for gold and a little bit more health, just wanting to stay alive in team fights a little bit more. Sivir, I'm questioning the early pickaxe. That sounds like a bit of a desperation move to me.
Sounds like Infinity Edge.
Yeah,
more
but
so than Bloodthirster or
yeah,
Eternity
wouldn't
Force.
you normally save money for the BF sword first
Doesn't
though?
really matter. They're
Okay.
not like significantly more gold efficient than the other. Generally speaking, if you can get into a team fight with plus 25 damage,
Right.
that's really, really useful. You know, certainly there are points where, well, if one got pickaxe, one waited and got a BF sword, and then a team fight started, then the BF sword wins. But
Right.
you know, one gets a pickaxe, one saves, team fight starts, other one's winning. So it really can go both ways. And honestly, that early investment, it got them that turret most likely. It might have been there in time to help with the dragon kill. I didn't really watch the items that closely, but there were times where that works.
Right, the enemy graves though more than 20 CS ahead right now, 25 CS ahead right now with the BF sword and actually a long sword, so that may be a black cleaver.
That's not the build anymore, so I mean that could be maybe Last Whisper
Oh,
later
right,
on.
yeah.
They don't directly build into anything together though. There's no single item that they both build into. So
Anymore, yes.
yeah. But the push is Linak taking a lot of damage though by going for that turret. Did actually pull aggro with I think Ricochet or Boomerang Blade, and well, they got enough damage though. They took those turrets down. And again, I like this playstyle. It's the kind of thing that Team Solo Mid does.
Yep.
And they get any kind of small advantage. They get together and they go for turrets. And now they're up in gold. They're down 4 kills and up in gold. That is a good thing right there. And they can use that to capitalize on something really big.
aAA seems to want to equalize that tower advantage right now. They're pushing mid lane really, really hard. It doesn't look like Sypher want to engage with them quite yet. Because Sivir just got home and bought, so that would not be a good engage. And Pyri actually has the flash to be safe on Nunu there. Very, very scary moment there. They wouldn't want to lose the potential threat of an absolute zero that early in a team fight. Obviously, when Nunu uses his absolute zero, he is gonna get focused and taken out very quickly. But that just means he just forced the entire enemy team to focus him, and that's exactly what Sypher may want.
Yeah, and the thing is, they have not so many stuns as well, so Rammus is not likely to hit him with Powerball to interrupt it because it's not going to be a cooldown he'll have up that often.
Yep.
Graves and Swain cannot break that. Rammus could blow Taunt, which they would love, by the way, if they don't taunt Irelia or
Yes.
Sion or Shaco. That's wonderful. It's going to be incredibly hard for Udyr to do that with Bear Stance because there's a giant, significant movement speed slow attached to Absolute Zero,
Yep.
which means unless you're already on top of the guy, you're not going to break that in the 2.5 second channel, which leaves Taric's stun, which is, maybe one of the most appropriate uses.
Ooh, AlthOr flashing in for a never move there in river doesn't quite catch either Sivir or Nunu. And it looks like AAA are now setting up to take the dragon, the second dragon of the game. Almost all of them are there. Actually, all of them are there, but Irelia is going to be there in no time at all as well. And dragon has been pulled. The CV is down, so Sypher know exactly what's happening, but there is a smoke shield that's going to stop Sion from going in closer in. AlthOr now taking a lot of damage there near dragon. He's going to be dropped down by Sypher, but at the same time, the absolute zero being blown in the river. And that was really good because it kept Skyyart safe just long enough for the rest of Team Sypher to come back from killing Yellowstar up there. Sorry, not killing Yellowstar, from killing AlthOr up there. And this team fight, Freak, has gone really well for Sypher.
It went phenomenally for them. It was absolutely perfect. They got 3 for 1. The Sivir was never really initiated on. No CCs broke on Nunu at all. They had the fight separated. Sivir had her ult put on. Her entire team was able to reposition correctly. And yeah, Nunu ult blew up on 2 to 3 people from a full channel. Wasn't even hiding in brush, just kind of went for the damage.
Yep.
And they just jumped on everyone properly. Everyone was separated. Linak got focused down at the end with defensive ball curl down. Osaft actually went down very early on. They kind of focused him pretty early from Sivir. And again, no one could jump on Sivir and get rid of her. And she just dealt a lot of damage there. And Sypher now ahead about 1,700 gold. They're still down in kills, but again, when you have turrets and 2 dragons, yeah, you're still winning the game at that point.
This is really great with the unconventional picks, the Nunu support and the Shaco jungle is not that unconventional, but we haven't seen it this tournament yet. Sypher are actually doing a really, really good job, and I really love how they used Absolute Zero. And oh, there is Irelia now from Linak who really wants to go in and catch one of them. Not gonna happen though. I was going to say the Absolute Zero just delaying the fight for long enough for the rest of Sypher, the 3 members of Sypher that went up to chase AlthOr to come back into the fight. And the 3rd blue steal may not happen because, AlthOr gets hit by a full Boomerang Blade that takes a lot of damage. Skyyart is already in on them, but soAz is there. The entire team AAA is there right now, and Schleier isn't, and Pyri is hanging behind a little bit. So AAA weren't aware of the fact that Shaco was not around. They could have probably initiated that fight. A little bit too scared there from the bully bruiser team. With a lineup like this, you should really be more in the enemy's face. And
Pyri pretty aggressive.
Yeah,
there, yeah,
that's good warding. That's like, yeah, we are gonna take your mid tower right now, ward basically.
They're just pushing through. Yeah, they're going to get another turret for themselves. And this is, again, I think just the absolute right place. Sivir pops her ult as well. They got to be careful for the taunt because that will make them pull aggro. Skyyart's been pulled. This could be very bad for him. Takes a summoner heal, still low on health, dropping very, very quickly. And AlthOr's in the fray right there, doing a lot to stop that team. Pyri's going to try to slow him down. soAz nearby. Linak doesn't have Irelia's up just yet, but could do some more there. Let's see if they can keep pushing through. They've gotten that one kill. Looks like they're going to be safe. Sivir needs to not stay around like this,
Shaco, though, top lane is trying to juke Udyr and does not quite manage to. Udyr almost ran out the wrong way after Tribush, but he was quick enough with the clicking. Apparently he didn't attack move, because then he would have just immediately attacked, but he reacted quickly enough, so it's all good. And yeah, I felt that was a bit too aggressive from Sypher. They didn't quite have the advantage yet to be diving a turret like this, and they paid for it with 2 kills and another turret that they're going to lose the top lane. So that was definitely advantage for AAA right now.
Yeah, they did trade turrets, but they of course lost 2 kills. And the thing is, they were okay to do some of that pressure. They had basically a blood-boiled ulted Sivir, but it was basically Irelia, and you stayed too far up. She was basically up there hitting the turret, got caught by Rammus, and even though she had summoner heal and everything else, just got alpha down and just kind of dropped at the beginning of that fight. And the thing is, when you're most far, remember, look at the gold right here. She's got 6,200 gold. Yeah, okay, Sivir is slightly ahead of that, but only because Sivir has 4 kills. You know, she is, you know, level 12, highest on her team, the most minions on her team. Getting out CS by the enemy team, sure, but you know, she's an incredibly important part of this team. She has frozen mallet. She keeps people pinned down. Like, she's gonna do so much for Sypher, and she let herself get caught, and that just completely just ruined that fight for them.
And the frozen mallet is of course a bit of a tanky item because it builds health, but it does not build armor, and that's what you really need if you want to be diving turrets like that. And with no armor, it was a little bit optimistic there, but I do like that kind of play from Sypher. I'd rather a team be too optimistic than too pessimistic.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see Infinity Edge is now built on both Sivir and Graves, even though Graves has out CS Sivir by about 40. Those 4 kills have kind of kept her in about the same place. You can see they're pretty similar.
Oh, Linak gets caught by a couple of boxes there, but he's going to be fine, obviously, because he's Rammus and he doesn't really care about the little spikes that the boxes shoot at him. Osaft counter-warding that brush right now to stop Shaco from just camping there and trying to flank people. And lots of pings are going down to Sypher. Seem to be undecided whether they want to go for top turret or not. And pings now from AAA to Baron. They think that Sypher may be going for Baron, but they're not going to see Sion and Irelia appear in top lane, and they will not be able to stop them from taking the turret.
Yep, and AlthOr, of course, getting blue. I don't think Sypher timed this necessarily. They do have a ward there. They did know AlthOr was going for it, but I don't think they were like, AlthOr's... Actually, they probably were like, "Hey, AlthOr's going blue. Let's go push top."
Yeah, that's
probably that just seems, you know, like it's a pretty obvious call for a team of this caliber. You know, they had the ward there. They knew to go for it, and you can see Purple Team AAA just spamming ping, saying, "Guys, they're still pushing top. We need to come defend this." And they're going to be there pretty late now. They've got to be careful because Shaco's far, but thankfully Swain is far as well, so they're going to have this one almost for free. No, Linak goes in, taunts Pyri on the turret. They're going in for that battle. Yellowstar off with the side. Osaft nearby as well. Pyri goes down right away. They did trade back. They got Udyr for it, but still they've got to be careful. Sion there without shield. Taric in the middle. Yellowstar okay now, has summoner healed. The exhaust is gone. Linak in bad shape. Actually might get trucked down. Will fall just barely, but they've got to be careful because now AlthOr's in there, and AlthOr is up there with a vengeance. They've got to be careful. Schley could get owned. Nope. Gonna be okay. Drops the box. Looks like that will get killed by Graves. They lost 1, picked up 2. Turret's still alive, so good defense by against AlthOr. They just completely crushed Nunu right away, but Sypher managed to barely keep the rest of their team alive despite the flash in, the aggressive play from AlthOr, from Rammus. They managed to just make that one work just barely. And again, good fight from Sypher. They got a turret. They got half the next one. And +1 kill.
And Freak, what happened in that fight was that Lunate was just standing there auto-attacking the entire time. That Sivir was never not attacking. And that's all that damage that you saw there. And she was up to 1.4 with just Blood Boil. 1.4 attack speed. Yeah, that's gonna hurt quite a bit. And that Rammus, after his defensive curl was down, you could see every single boomerang took like a sixth of his health.
Oh man, yeah, it's pretty painful. And that's what happens when I'm not saying it's a bad move at all, but this will happen when you rush a Irelia's. Yeah. You got Mercury Treads for your defensive item. He's got 104 armor, but like he's got like +30 from items.
Yes.
He's not very tanky when defensive ball curl is down. He is getting that
now. Pyri getting caught there, and they did not quite capitalize on it. Oh, there is the stun, and yes, that chain CC. That's definitely going to be a very, very dead Nunu right there. Not quite sure what he was doing. He was running an Oracles as well, so they just lost an Oracles on top of that. That's not ideal, and AAA may now be going for Baron without the absolute zero threat from Team Sypher. That's absolutely something that AAA can do now. They can either actually just take Baron, or they can force a fight, which will be to their advantage as well. This is I don't want to say that Pyri lost Sypher the game, but it was definitely a questionable move, and there will be some discussion in the after-game chat about this.
That's the vision about it. Oh, they're going to jump in onto Irelia and Sion. Looks like Sion getting caught right there. Rammus going to land that taunt as well. He's almost certainly going to fall. He will drop down. Shaco will try to get this blue while they're doing that. They don't want to give that resource away to AlthOr, and they're just going to move back on. It was a nice move by Rammus. You know, yeah, okay, you'll be a little bit squishy if you build it away as Rammus, but it also allows you to pick up kills like that. So it's not like, again, it's not a bad build. You just have to be aware of the drawbacks. And looks like they're going to get this one for free. No one is stopping. Actually, Sivir and Irelia pushing mid as a response. And again, an amazing move by Sypher to do this.
That is really smart. I mean, okay, Shaco just died as well trying to steal the Baron, but it delayed them even further. And that may mean that Skyyart and Trollnet, I wanted to say Lunet, are actually going to take the mid inhib here.
But they could get caught. They could lose another 2 kills for this. They're going to try to run away. Sivir's ult is down. They're going to run to the right. They've been pinged. Yep, they've pinged the path as well. And I just want to watch from Purple Team's point of view.
Pyri though. I tried to slow down AlthOr, and he's going to give another kill to AlthOr. That's not what you want to do. Lune runs right into the Never Move. It's going to fall as well. That was probably not worth it. Skyyart is going to be safe, but you know what? The carry just died again. That's just... I mean, she's not running a Bloodthirster, so it's not that bad, but still it's not ideal. And I feel Pyri was a little bit too ballsy trying to stop AlthOr. He was basically offering himself as a target so that AlthOr wouldn't just run straight for the 2 guys in mid lane. But AlthOr was like, yeah, you know what, I'll take that kill. Thanks very much.
Yeah, absolutely the case. And actually, basically everyone from Sypher except for Irelia just died in a row over and over throughout that last sort of conflict. So they lost 4 kills. They did get a turret out of it. They got an inhibitor out of it as well, but they lost Baron, and they've lost complete map control now. So against All Authority, up only 2,000 gold. Their advantage is not significant aside from the Baron buff itself. And so they need to capitalize the next 3 minutes to make something out of this, or we're going to be kind of back to square one. And with an exposed inhibitor for the rest of the game, will give Sypher a lot of options to push and end the game at any point if they win a team fight.
Yep, exactly. Inhib obviously is the ability you need to destroy before you can do any damage to the Nexus, which will end the game, just for those of you at home who may not be pros yourselves. Looks like AAA are now actually pushing in toward mid lane. They are going to take this tower for free, while Shaco did already do Dragon.
That's good.
Yeah, that's nice. I don't actually hear myself anymore. I don't know if you hear me.
Yeah, but I hear you at least, so I think we're okay there. So Shaco is still split pushing. He's actually going for the right-hand side. They're going to lose this inhibitor turret almost definitely. They know they don't have the power to really stop this. The initiate from Rammus can tank the turret and just go for it and just shrug off that damage, and no one has recalled to stop Shaco, so I think he'll trade turrets for this, and actually they've still not taken the inhib turret down just yet. That Sion shield, the Sivir boomerang, they have good AoE there, and look, there we go, nice with the Irelia as well, just going for that, but of course, again, they can face tank this, and they're going to be okay with that, and you can see, yeah, that inhibitor turret will go down. If Sypher's smart, they will run away right now if they get caught, and there is the catch. Nice job by Udyr, the absolute zero goes up trying to help. Pyri not in a wonderful place right now. He will drop down, but they're going to be okay. They will lose the inhibitor, but the rest of the team will survive. That Sivir ult giving them move speed, and Shaco has kept pushing. He's recalling now. I think he says, you need to help my team, but honestly, he could have gotten some more damage on that turret, possibly. The rest of the team has been pushed back. You can see Swain has already recalled, and Sypher says, okay, now get out of our base, get out of our face. We need to keep our base alive.
Yeah, that's generally a good thing to do, keeping your base alive. That'll help you not lose the game. AAA are now pushing back carefully. They're still taking a couple of buffs from Sypher's jungle. I feel that they kind of equalized the game, or even build a bit of an advantage at this point. They are 2.3k gold ahead. It's not that much, of course, but psychologically they must feel like they're way ahead, because it's 16 to 7 kills right now. A lot of turrets are still up for the grabs from Team Sypher. So if AAA wants some more gold, I don't think that there's anything that Sypher can do to stop, for instance, a bot lane push right now.
Yeah, and the interesting thing also is, again, you just talked about the 16 to 7 kill score. They have Baron. They are down 2 turrets. I'm talking about AAA here, of course. But Sypher, I believe, have gotten every single dragon of the game. You talked about Shaco, how he soloed dragon right before he pushed bottom lane and got a turret out of it. Again, they're up 2 turrets, and they're up 3 to 4 dragons. So even though the score up top looks so brutal, it's a 2,000 gold difference. That's not a big deal at all. It's going to be okay. And you can see Shaco, again, split pushing, knows that he just wants to, just delay and buy time for his team. Actually got an early Brutalizer as well. Looks like he's going for a Warmog's build next.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's got the health crystal and the regrowth pendant. I mean, unless he's getting a late Philo stone or something, like, he went for the Brutalizer and the Regals for early damage, and he's now going for a tanky man with Atmas for the damage output later on, and that's going to be if he can actually finish that build, it's a good transition because you look over at AlthOr and he's not really itemized armor yet. I mean, he might have it from runes and masteries and by being near a Taric, but you know, 119 is not the highest armor value in the world. You can break through that. And the more physical damage they have, I think the better off they're going to be.
Yep. Sivir is going to be a huge threat now with 200 attack damage and with a Phantom Dancer build, so she's at 1.8 already without any buffs on her. So once she pops her ultimate and
that's Nunu. She's got Blood Boil on right now.
Oh, she does have Blood Boil on. Okay, yes. But still, it's a 1.5 without buffs. So yeah, that's still a lot of attack speed. That just means if she can survive a fight, she can just do what she did in top lane, just put out constant damage and wear pretty much anyone from the enemy team down. There's not that much armor on the enemy team actually.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. The Taric Aura, of course, will help quite a bit. Graves will get some for free. Udyr definitely has a lot. Udyr is not the target she wants to go for, and Rammus, when Ball Curls on, is good, but without it on, he's not, you know, again, that very beefy. 100 armor is you know, certainly a fairly high value, but it's something that can be dealt with quite easily. Yeah. It's when you get to 200-300 that it really gets scary. So Inhibitor has respawned in mid. They've actually pinged Shaco. And again, they've been really good at flash initiating these fights. So if I were Sypher, oh, Skyyart, you are so going to die right now. There's the taunt. There's the never move, and the burst damage is on. She's trying to run away, but there are so many enemy champions. She will get alpha'd out. Just, you know, just a little bit too aggressive there. Got caught. And this could be all AAA needs to actually possibly end the game, actually. They've got 35 seconds, and they've got the super minion advantage.
Yep, the Inhib has of course respawned quite a while ago, so there's no more super minions spawning for Sypher right now. They are actually on the Nexus turrets right now. Schleier popping his ulti there to go in, actually just send his clone in a little bit, but it's not delaying them. They're still going, actually they're going for Pyri right now. Pyri dropping very low, they pick him up. That's another good kill there for Team AAA. They are going to take this Nexus turret as well. Osaft falling very low, healing himself, though he is going to be okay. He's going to be around for just a little bit longer. The Nexus is now down to almost no health, and there is the kill. Good game for AAA, taking the game kind of as we expected, but against a team Sypher that was a lot stronger than we would have expected.
That was absolutely certainly close. I mean, that was definitely really close game. But